He's not a natural leader. Van Dijk can't lace the boots of Terry or Ferdinand. Imagine hearing that after being named one of the top 3 players in the world, alongside Messi and Ronaldo, a defender on the Ballon d'Or podium, a moment unheard of since 2006. Virgil van Dijk's story isn't one of instant success. It's a journey paved with doubt, rejection, and relentless criticism. But how does someone rise from being dismissed by top Dutch clubs to becoming the backbone of Liverpool's defense? How does a player transform from obscurity to being called one of the greatest center-backs in history? This is more than football. It's a story of resilience, redemption, and rewriting history. Let's dive in. Virgil van Dijk wasn't born a footballing prodigy. His journey to greatness wasn't about raw talent alone. It was about persistence and growth. While legends like Maldini and Ramos thrived at elite clubs early on, Van Dijk's rise was different. He started at Groningen, a small Dutch club, after being rejected by top-tier teams. Even there, he struggled to break into the first team. Coaches doubted his ability and criticized his limitations. At one point, he was working as a dishwasher, uncertain if football would ever work out. But then came a breakthrough. A late growth spurt, combined with his sheer determination, turned heads. Slowly, the scrawny teenager who played right back became a defender with strength, composure, and an eye for the game. His climb had begun. Van Dijk's journey took a pivotal turn when he moved to Celtic. This wasn't a move to a glamorous league or a top club, but it was his chance to prove himself. And prove himself he did. In Scotland, he dominated the league. Crunching tackles, towering headers, and even stunning goals. He was doing it all. Celtic won back-to-back league titles, and Van Dijk was named in the Team of the Year twice. But despite his brilliance, the big clubs weren't convinced. Scouts doubted if his performances in the Scottish League could translate to the bigger stages. For Van Dijk, it wasn't just about proving them wrong. It was about proving to himself that he belonged. His time at Celtic was a stepping stone, a launch pad for what would come next. The question was, who would take a chance on him? In the summer of 2015, Southampton took that chance. For £13 million, Van Dijk made his move to the Premier League. But even then, there were doubts. Critics questioned whether he could handle the pace and physicality of England's top flight. But Van Dijk didn't just adapt, he excelled. He quickly became the backbone of Southampton's defense, showcasing his composure on the ball, tactical intelligence, and aerial dominance. By the end of his first season, he was named the club's Player of the Year. His performances were so good, Southampton handed him the captain's armband just 2 years later. For Van Dijk, this was no longer about proving he could play in the Premier League. It was about proving he was ready for the very top. The stage was set for his next big move, and this time, all eyes were on him. December 27, 2017, Virgil van Dijk joined Liverpool for a record-breaking £75 million, making him the most expensive defender in history at the time. Critics immediately pounced. Too expensive, not worth it. The pressure was immense, but Van Dijk thrived under it. On his debut, he scored a dramatic late winner in the FA Cup against Everton. It was a moment that signaled what was to come. Despite early struggles in a few matches, Van Dijk adjusted quickly, anchoring Liverpool's defense and turning them into title contenders. He brought something Liverpool desperately needed: calmness, leadership, and an unmatched ability to read the game. Suddenly, their defense, once shaky, became one of the strongest in Europe. Van Dijk wasn't just a signing, he was a transformation. By the 2018 to 2019 season, Virgil van Dijk had silenced the doubters. His calm presence, incredible positional awareness, and unmatched aerial dominance made him the backbone of Liverpool's resurgence. He wasn't just defending, he was dictating games. That year, Liverpool's defense was nearly impenetrable. They conceded only 22 goals in the Premier League, the fewest in the league, with Van Dijk at the heart of it all. His performances earned him the PFA Players' Player of the Year award, a rare feat for a defender. But his crowning achievement came in Madrid. In the Champions League final against Tottenham, Van Dijk led Liverpool to European glory, becoming the defensive wall they needed to lift the trophy. That night, the world knew Van Dijk wasn't just great, he was legendary. After conquering Europe, Virgil van Dijk's dominance continued into the next season. Liverpool, driven by his leadership at the back, went on a historic run in the Premier League. They were nearly unstoppable, breaking records and dismantling opponents week after week. Van Dijk started every single league game, leading Liverpool to their first top-flight title in 30 years. His presence was unmatched, calm under pressure, commanding in the air, and always one step ahead of the game. But it wasn't just his defending that set him apart. Van Dijk's ability to play out from the back and turn defense into attack was second to none. He wasn't just a defender. He was the foundation of a champion. Virgil van Dijk was on top of the world. But as the saying goes, what goes up must come down. On October 17th, 2020, everything changed. In the Merseyside derby against Everton, a reckless challenge from goalkeeper Jordan Pickford left Van Dijk, clutching his knee in agony. The diagnosis? A torn ACL. For any footballer, it's one of the most devastating injuries, and for Van Dijk, it meant months away from the game. Critics wondered if he'd ever be the same again. Could the towering defender, who had dominated Europe, return to his peak? The recovery was long, grueling, and uncertain. For Van Dijk, it wasn't just about healing his body. It was about rebuilding his confidence and proving to the world and himself that his story wasn't over. After 9 months of rehabilitation, Virgil van Dijk made his long-awaited return in the 2021 to 2022 season. The world watched with anticipation, wondering if he could still be the same player who once dominated defenses and inspired teammates. Van Dijk quickly answered those doubts. He reclaimed his spot in Liverpool's backline, delivering performances that reminded everyone of his brilliance. His composure, leadership, and ability to read the game hadn't faded. In February 2022, he helped Liverpool win the EFL Cup, scoring his penalty in a nerve-wracking shootout against Chelsea. That season, Liverpool chased an unprecedented quadruple. Though they fell short, Van Dijk's impact was undeniable. He proved that even after a career-threatening injury, he was still one of the best defenders in the world. But football is unforgiving, and the 2022 to 2023 season brought new challenges for Virgil van Dijk. After years of near-flawless performances, cracks began to show. Costly mistakes, lapses in concentration, and a lack of consistency led to criticism from fans and pundits alike. For the first time since joining Liverpool, Van Dijk experienced a home defeat in the Premier League. Questions swirled. Was this a dip in form? Or was it the beginning of the end for one of the greatest center-backs of his generation? Through it all, Van Dijk faced the criticism head-on. He had been doubted before, and each time he rose above. At 31, the Dutchman still has the passion, resilience, and determination to remind the world why he's one of the best to ever play the game. Despite the setbacks and criticism, Virgil van Dijk continued to lead Liverpool both on and off the pitch. In 2023, following the departure of Jordan Henderson, he was named team captain, a testament to his influence and leadership. But the challenges didn't stop. Early in the season, Van Dijk received his first red card for Liverpool, sparking further debates about his form and discipline. Criticism wasn't limited to club football either. Even for the Netherlands, legends like Marco van Basten questioned his leadership, calling him too passive. Yet, Van Dijk's career has always been about resilience. For every setback, he finds a way to respond. With a captain's armband and a legacy on the line, Van Dijk continues to prove that greatness isn't just about flawless performances. It's about rising stronger each time you fall. Virgil van Dijk's journey is a testament to perseverance. From being overlooked by Dutch giants to facing doubts in Scotland, and later becoming the cornerstone of Liverpool's defense, he has continually proven his worth. But his greatness goes beyond trophies and accolades. It's about his impact. When Van Dijk joined Liverpool, he transformed not just their defense, but their mentality. He brought calmness, leadership, and belief to a team that would go on to conquer Europe and the Premier League. His ability to anchor a backline and lead under pressure is rare, making him more than just a great defender. He's a game changer. Criticism will always come for players of his caliber, but for Van Dijk, it's simply fuel. His story isn't just about football. It's about rising above doubt and showing that greatness is forged through adversity. As we look back on Virgil van Dijk's career, one thing becomes clear. His journey is unlike any other. He didn't rise through the ranks of elite academies or start at a global powerhouse. Instead, he climbed his way up, step by step, silencing doubters at every turn. From washing dishes as a teenager to standing on the Ballon d'Or podium, Van Dijk's path to greatness is as unconventional as it is inspiring. His peaks, like transforming Liverpool into Champions League and Premier League winners, stand as some of the most impactful moments in football history. He may not have the longevity of some legends, but few defenders have ever reached the heights he has. And while his story is still being written, one thing is certain. Virgil van Dijk is a defender whose legacy will echo for generations. At the heart of Virgil van Dijk's legacy lies a lesson. Greatness isn't just about the accolades. It's about resilience, transformation, and inspiring those around you. For Liverpool, he was more than a defender. He was the catalyst for an era of glory. His journey from being overlooked to standing among football's elite is proof that belief, hard work, and perseverance can defy expectations. Even as criticism mounts and new challenges arise, Van Dijk remains steadfast, a testament to the power of character in the face of adversity. For the fans, for the doubters, and for the history books, Virgil van Dijk has proven time and time again. Legends aren't born, they're forged. And while his best days may be debated, his place among football's greats is undeniable. Virgil van Dijk's journey is a reminder that greatness isn't given, it's earned. It's earned through rejection, through injury, through moments when the world says you can't, and you prove that you can. From washing dishes as a teenager to standing on football's grandest stages, his story is one of perseverance, belief, and unshakable resolve. As fans, we're often quick to judge, quick to criticize. But every player has a story, and Van Dijk's is one of resilience in the face of relentless doubt. Whether you see him as the best defender of his era or simply a player who inspired his team to dream bigger, one thing is undeniable. Virgil van Dijk redefined what it means to be a leader, a defender, and a legend. His legacy isn't just about lifting trophies or breaking records. It's about inspiring us all to rise, no matter how many times we fall. And that's why the name Virgil van Dijk will forever echo in the halls of football history.